Hello everyone, Auvbri here and welcome back to another speed build in The Sims 4. Today we are doing another build that my mom drew. So it's kind of like a collaboration between the two of us, and you can kind of see up in the corner now what her drawing was. So it's kind of like a house that is embedded in rock work, hence the name Rockwork. And it was a really cool idea, and it took a bit longer than I actually expected to do this house, just because the sheer amount of rocks that I actually had to put into the build was so much, and it just that's what took the most time in this build, was just the tedious work of putting in rocks to kind of create this illusion that the house is kind of embedded into a rock. But it looks really cool in the end, and I'm super happy about how the result turned out. So we're just working on the garage here, and this is kind of like the basement where the garage is. I know it's not really a basement, but it's kind of like a basement because the ground floor would be the first floor in this build. So when I'm referring to the basement, I'm referring to the floor with the garage on it. So there wasn't actually any specific things with the house. I just got a shell of how it was supposed to kind of look like. So I kind of took some creative liberties with this house as well. So I knew there had to be a garage, and she wanted to have a big front with lots of windows, like big open front with a big window front, and that's kind of what I did. I'm talking to her later because I showed her a picture of what this was gonna look like. She kind of said to me, "Oh, so you went for the blue color?" I was kind of expecting to be like a raw brick or something, and I thought about doing the raw brick, but I felt like it would kind of disappear into the to the rocks itself, and I wanted the house, to pop out so you could kind of see the rock, and you could kind of see where the rock ends and the house begins. So that's why I chose to have this bluish color instead, and I'm really in love with this wallpaper. I actually think it came with the toddler update. Free update that was a while back, but it works really well here. So yeah, I used that to kind of break free from the rocks, and as you can see here, I'm just kind of placing them all around, and I wanted to use these like rock furniture type stuff. Just because the round rocks that you can actually get from the gardening side of the game is just not that good at stacking because it creates a lot of holes and stuff. And if you've seen my Asian mountain builds, you would see that I actually struggled a lot with that in that build, because I didn't at that time have the option to use these furniture or these rocks. But it just looks so much better, and you can kind of create like this really nice looking fake rock side to the build. So yeah, that's what we did, but just placing a lot of rocks here, and this was really tedious work, and I'm not even kidding. It took forever to do this, but it's totally worth it, because it just turned out so great in the end. Just the way that it looks now, and kind of the screenshots in the end as well. I'm super happy about how it turned out. So there wasn't any specific requests, I believe, to what the garden should look like. So I also took some liberties with that. And in the end, I just tried to kind of blend it into the background because I wanted the house to be the main star of this build. So yeah, just going to the other side here, because this is kind of a rock that goes all throughout one side to the other side and over the roofing. So it kind of looks like the house is carved into the rock side, and it just makes for this really cool effect in the end as well. But this side didn't actually take that long, just because it wasn't that big of a side, and we had like this balcony that took up a lot of space. So this side wasn't too bad. But I tried to blend the balcony into the rock side here, just to kind of create like a unified, like it was going directly into the rock side, and just placing some smaller rocks, making it look a bit more realistic. And we're gonna place in some plants in the end as well, around the rock sides, just so it's not purely rock. And then I was just working on the top here. I tried to make it look natural, if you know, kind of get my gist here. I tried to make it look natural, but still kind of like it was carved out of the general rock that was there. But it was really hard to kind of do that and still have the house underneath, trying to make everything look good. And I wasn't too happy at this point. I wasn't too happy about how it was kind of like really rough edges on the edge of the front here, and somewhat in the back. So I was kind of looking for something to kind of negate that roughness. And I was like, okay, so you can kind of place plants on the side of it to kind of make it look a bit more realistic. But just that wasn't enough, so I tried to put in these. They just hang out too far, so I had to kind of, make it look a bit more realistic, like it was kind of hanging from the rock side. And I think that turned out really great in the end. It made the build a bit more realistic looking, like they would actually grow plants on top, and kind of like ferns and stuff that we're gonna put in later. So yeah, just working on the basement here. I didn't have a idea of how I wanted this house to look at all. I kind of went into this house with a blank space and no general idea of what I wanted to do, but it actually turned out to be a quite bigger house than I initially thought it would. And when I say bigger, I both mean in scale, but also just the sheer amount of rooms that is in this house. So we actually have a toddler room, and we have a teenage room, we have a master bedroom, a kitchen, dining room, living room areas, and 2 bathrooms that are identical, because again, bathrooms really not my thing. So I just kind of made one bathroom in the basement, copied that up to the upstairs, so they are totally identical. It's just laziness on my part, but it's just didn't want to do that. So yeah, it actually turned out to be quite a large house, with a lot of rooms. So it's a really nice family home as it is now. But that wasn't the initial idea, and I don't think that my mom kind of had the idea to have a basement. At least that's not what it looked like on the drawings to me, that she wanted to have the downstairs as well. But I kind of did that, and just to kind of get some more space, because I really wanted to use the space in a cool way and kind of have it feel much bigger than it is. And because this is kind of a basement, it's kind of hidden away, so you don't initially think that there's going to be anything down there. But we have a garage and 2 rooms, a bathroom, and it just all turned out really, really nice. And we're just furnishing a lot of stuff here. So we did the bathrooms. And for some reason, I don't know why, but I'm just having a phase where I really, really love blue colors, and anything I can do with blue and kind of to accent blue and just blue. It's a really good color, and especially in The Sims 4, because a lot of stuff actually goes with the color blue, and you can kind of accent that with, green, yellow, and of course whites. So I'm really into that at the moment. But you know, it's something I might get over in the future. But it's a really nice color to build with, and there's a lot of stuff that goes together really well with the color blue. So yeah, that's why I chose that. I was just working a bit on the entrance here, and I'm actually just jumping around quite a bit here just to kind of figure out what I wanted to do, because as you can see, contrary to my builds that I normally do, there's not actually that much let's call it space and room in this build, just because I chucked so many rooms into this small build. It just felt smaller than it actually is, but I really did like that idea because it makes it feel so much more homey and lived in, like there's actually people living here. Because let's face it, we all have been in that one house or apartment where everything is just it looks like a big house, but it also feels somewhat smaller because there is a lot of stuff in it. And that's kind of the feel I was going for here, just because the space was kind of, it felt not cramped, but it felt smaller than it was, and I really did love the idea of that, having that kind of lived-in feeling to it. So yeah, that was kind of what I was going for here. And I tried to mix and match different furniture together. Kind of some modern, kind of some retro looking furniture, and you know, lots of colors. So the walls are actually not that colorful. So we have this blue color, but I accented that with this white looking, kind of like stonish looking wallpaper, just kind of break it up a bit. And then I could do what I'm really into at the moment, is accent everything with bright looking furniture, which for some reason I just think works so well. Normally in previous builds, you know, from a long time ago, I would, you know, make the color of the walls and the color of the furniture kind of match, but now I'm really into making certain furniture pop really much, and I think it works really well. So yeah, here we have the 3 rooms. Working on the master bedroom here. Again, as you can see, not the biggest room, but they all have everything that they need. And the master bedroom, of course, having a double bed. I threw in a closet, and yeah, that's kind of it. There wasn't that much space in here to work with. So we went downstairs here to work on the toddler room. And I'm really happy about how this turned out. I think it's super cute looking. And I don't think that I have actually done a toddler room yet. So that was really nice. And I'm super happy about how it turned out. I think it's super cute looking. And I chose to have this a girl's room. So I wanted a contrast to that. So the teenage room is going to be a boy's room. And yeah. Actually, so all the stuff that I placed in this room, like these little decorative items, I totally forgot about those. So right when I was about to upload the build, I totally forgot those. So I kind of quickly placed them where I wanted them to be. And so yeah, you're not going to see them be on the floor. They're actually going to have a space. And I do believe that in the screenshots, they are also in the right space that they need to be. So yeah, just keep that in mind. But the teenage boys room here, so it's actually the same size as the girls room. But for some reason, I felt like this room was smaller. It's actually 1 square, you know, longer than the toddler room, but it just felt smaller for some reason. I guess it's the furniture. But yeah, just working on the outside here on the balcony. And yeah, we're actually, almost finished with this build. So the last thing I did was just throw in some, you know, plans to make it look a bit more realistic, because as I said in the beginning, I wanted the house to be the star of this build. So in order for me to do that, I wanted everything else to blend nicely in with the background. Like, it was kind of like this hidden house. So I didn't do anything special with the garden. I tried to find trees that would actually go well with the lot that I chose, and just try to blend in stuff with the surroundings to kind of make it look better. And yeah, here we have the screenshot. So the garage, as I said, I didn't do anything special here at all. So this is a room when you walk out of the garage. So this is kind of the room that binds the teenage boys room here, and the toddler room and the bathroom together. Here we have the bathroom. Of course, the one upstairs is identical to this one. So yeah, there's only pictures of this one. And here we have the toddler room. Again, I think this turned out super, super cute. I'm super happy about how this turned out. Just another picture of the room. And yeah, again, I just felt like it looked so much bigger, but I guess that's just me. So here we have the upstairs, where you can kind of see throughout. So this is actually one big open area, but kind of separated into different rooms without being in different rooms. So it's kind of like one big open area, but separated to accommodate the fact that we needed to have separate rooms. And the living room here, the master bedroom, and just another shot so you can kind of see it from the other side. And here we have the outside, and I think this looks super, super cool, especially with the rocks and kind of like how it's just coming out of the rock. And I'm super happy about how this turned out. And I want to say a great big thank you to my mother. Thank you so much for drawing this to me. It turned out super, super freaking awesome. And to all of you watching, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this build. Remember, you can download it in the gallery. Just search Auvbri and you should be able to find every single thing that I do. And there's nothing else for me to say. Just yeah, have a super fantastic day wherever you are in the world, and I will see you next time for another video. Remember to like, subscribe and share, and yeah, just have a fantastic day. Bye!